What is that which you are searching for? There is no sense of personality at all when you become the Isvara, principle. Have no concern about losing your personality by listening to this knowledge, as personality has always been illusory. In order to even understand me, the sense of personality must be absent. You are the knowledge, and you don't have any shape or form whatsoever. You are impersonal. You are comprehensive. You are the unmanifest, the universal consciousness. What would happen if you went in search of that consciousness? The seeker would disappear in the search, because the I amness is all there is. I have a question here. Do not focus on your question. Focus on what I am saying. Don't say anything. Just listen. I am able to appreciate listening to you, therefore I am speaking. Just leave the question. Be strong. You speak very harshly. It hurts me. Just leave that. Do not even look in that direction. Just focus on what I am telling you. There was a split between what was there before the question and what came after. Look at what was there before the question came up. Do not speak about what came after the question. But I do not know who I am. That is my reality. As long as you are coming here, your search is not over. You are here because the search has not ended. Try to find out why. What is that which you are searching for? There is nothing there, only the process of seeking. You might be anybody in this world, even Brahma or Vishnu, but you do not have the power to do anything. Your life is your existence. It is made up of the 5 elements, and it is dependent on only these 5 elements. Consciousness is an orphan without parents or source. It has no need of anyone. What you understand of the objective world is all duality. Your objective world is composed of relationships. You have to depend all the time on someone else, friend, husband, wife, etc. In the objective world there is only dependence, whereas in your true state there is always independence. Existence without identity, which is your true nature, is independent. The time is 11:30 at present. It cannot be 12 now. It will be 12 half an hour later. We don't have any control over it. The time has to pass. That means you are always dependent on something. You cannot live independently of time, space, or the elements. Everyone is helpless. Only consciousness is independent. The state of bliss or joy is Purna Brahma or Nirvana. One who does not need anybody for entertainment is Niranjan. The ever-present is Nitya. That state never changes at all. As long as you are conscious of your body and its needs, you cannot be totally independent. Consciousness does not need light, and it does not need darkness. It does not need rest. It is the truth, and there is no change in it. When I was young, I had the power to squeeze a piece of metal and put it back into shape. Now I am old and require help from somebody to move around. Where has the power gone? It has not remained with me at all. All of these things in the objective world are inseparable from their attributes. An attribute by its very nature depends upon something. That knowledge, I am, is also an attribute. Therefore, the I amness, one way or another, also has to depend on something. What is the concept of Maya, illusion? The concept of Maya comes from the I amness. The existence of Maya and the world around you only arises when you are conscious of yourself. This is a state of darkness and ignorance, which is far from that of knowledge. Maya does not exist within the state of knowledge. What is Atma Prem, self-love? Atma Prem is also due to the I amness. If you start with Atma Prem, it can distract you and all you will see is Maya, which is a state of ignorance. If you reach a state of knowledge, then even this Atma Prem will be non-existent. The word Maya has a different meaning here. What you are calling love is itself Maya. Love is playing many roles. All these houses, etc., have been created out of Maya. Love or Maya has set up the whole of Bombay. Love is taking many shapes. Mula Maya has created Vishnu and Shankara. But what was there before that? Maya is the culprit. Man has entangled himself in this concept and illusion of love, and because of it gets trapped in the cycle of life and death. The feeling of love is a great mistake if one gets entangled in it. There is love for so many things. The minute the illusion is created, the entanglement begins. By imagining male and female, you got entangled in that illusion. You're Paramatman. That is what my guru told me when he was going into Mahasamadhi. His words had so much force that they were implanted and embedded in me, and I became that. There was so much power and force behind his utterances that whatever he said came true. Were you constantly doing the sacred mantra which your guru had given you? I was not doing it. I was constantly listening to it. The power of the mantra depends on the intensity of the faith you have. Is there any cause for this faith? Yes, there is a primary cause, the big cause, which is the knowledge I am. This is the cause behind the faith. The awareness of my being happened automatically. It just happens. The sprouting of this knowledge I am is prior to the formation of the 5 elements. The ultimate consciousness, the Absolute, is not even aware of itself or of any happening. Consciousness was one, but 2 people of different sexes were created, and the love between them created this world. This sound and this awareness are not one, but 2. Consciousness is just a speck, and this illusion has come out of it. Love is divided into 2 sexes, and the world has grown out of this. But as soon as realization happens, this separation disappears. When you have the realization that you are, that all is the play of Shiva Shakti, then you will know that this is all an illusion, and you will be free of grief as well as joy. Self-realization is Shivadatta. The moment you reach that stage, you will not have these feelings of happiness, sorrow, and suffering. When you reach the state of self-knowledge, there will be peace and quiet. Such knowledge of self is known as Shivadatta. If you realize that this is all an illusion, then there is no need for self-realization. Is there no love with self-realization? It is beyond that. Love is a worldly state. The very feeling of self-realization will not arrive until you understand what you are. If you understand the answer, then this question about self-realization will not arise. Ananda, the pleasure and bliss of consciousness, it will arise in you like an atomic explosion, and you will see how the whole wide world is a manifestation of that. Chinmayananda means speck of bliss. Swami means the spontaneous awareness of my being. Through the I amness, Swami Chinmayananda has created a big ashram that many people visit. All the gods are coming and going in this consciousness. Merely the fact that you are is Swami, which is pure honey, the proof of the Absolute. It is always with you and has come all by itself spontaneously without asking. That is Swami. And all the other things, what is all that about? Why worry about that? Let it be there. Worry about the I amness and forget about the rest. What the Swamis are doing or what they say is immaterial. If you have come to the source, why do you want to go back again to the banks of the river? I amness appears spontaneously, like a bolt of lightning. The illusion of self-love is broken into 5 basic elements: space, air, earth, fire, and water. But this self-love, the I am, manifests as sattva guna to the one who accepts this as a natural process. When it is used for achieving something in the world, it is referred to as rajas guna. When it is used to take credit for achievements, it is referred to as tamas guna. All the elements merge into one. And through the earth they create the grass and the grain. Grass is the fodder for animals that give us milk. Grain is the food of human beings. in which the subtlest principle is already embedded. When it is assimilated in the body, it becomes the food body. This food body is formed out of the milk and the grains that we eat. When the vital force is there, the I amness appears. I amness is the sattva quality, which is from the word sat, to be. The I amness which appears in a fraction of a second is due to the food body. When an individual soul, jiva, is born, it becomes aware of its parents and then becomes aware of its pasture, grazing ground and food. Shapes are formed according to their parent forms. A human being gives birth to a human being. Animals give birth to animals, and snakes and worms are created from the lowest forms of life. Four-legged creatures and human beings are created from a higher life force. Self-love is unique to human beings. Everything is created from the seed. When the parent form is mature, the seed is formed and the photo or form of the parent is stamped in the seed. Each seed creates an individual that is different from the others. The seed of one member of a family is quite different from that of his brother. The photograph in the seed is taken in a fraction of a second, and the new creation is born according to the traditional form. Some species, like goats, are born after 3 months. Human beings are born after 9 months. All living beings, as well as every shape and form, are created from the merging of the 5 elements with the essence of the earth. There are 4 ways in which creation takes place. That which is created from the air, like bacteria and various insects, is referred to as udvaja. That which is born from water and the sweat of the body, like worms, etc., is referred to as svedaja. That which is born from eggs, like snakes, fish, and birds, is referred to as undeja. Animals and human beings which have their own ways of procreating are born from the earth element. This is referred to as jaraja. Along with the 5 elements, a quality of the universe that is called destiny or prarabdha also comes into the formation. The process of birth does not arise through any deliberate action. It happens spontaneously. All actions are predetermined. With so much mixing going on now, I predict that all races will eventually blend together. Caste and creed will become meaningless, and it will be impossible to identify a pure Indian or a pure European. The entire pattern of the human race will change. The divisions into Hindu, Muslim, or Christian will cease to exist. Male and female will be the only remaining categories. As long as the identification with the body and the ego remains, you cannot be free. You will still just be following the same conventional pattern of behavior as the rest of the world. But what is the genuine behavior of your true Dharma? With what identity are you asking me these questions? Your knowledge is the product of your perceived identity. But what knowledge do you have of your real identity? First understand that before asking any further questions. What is it that you want most? What is it that you are running after? You love your body and crave the things that give it pleasure. You feel egotistical pride for your achievements. But once you have found your real identity, that which you are, you will be stabilized in that awareness. You will be free of greed, attachment, and pride. The thing which attracts you most of all is your I amness. You want to retain that I amness. You want to be. This I am is what you truly love the most. You want to be alive. So does the real freedom lie in being able to find out who you are? When you discover that self which has no color, image, or design, you will no longer require freedom or be conditioned by freedom. You will be beyond freedom. What is yoga? Yoga is uniting 2 things joining together. That is yoga. The whole population is a result of yoga. One party mixing or joining together with the other produces offspring with the identity of both. Why do you seek yoga? Yoga means the bridge, the link, or the connection. Why are you seeking this connection? You have to find out why it has occurred. Yoga was not required prior to the appearance of the bridge. You must find out what your state was prior to the bridge. Whatever the principle or state was before this linking, before the existence of the bridge, was the perfect state. Because the bridge has appeared, you feel separated from your true self, and you are trying to become reunited. That is yoga. Because of this, you have become the servant of your desires. The method that the yogis practice is breath control. By controlling their breath, they are able to enter a state of samadhi. Because their desires have been suppressed for a time, they presume that they have attained self-realization. Before meeting my guru, I had a liking for these things. Once a great yogi came to visit. After controlling his breath, he'd allow a car or even a truck to run over him. This was the miraculous power that he could exhibit. But that was the scope of his yogic studies. Control the breath, perform miracles, and exhibit them. Those people who go into samadhi by holding their breath have only learned a skill. They do not have the knowledge, and they have not transcended the knowledge. With the acrobatics of breath, they may temporarily achieve certain powers. But that is not real union with the source. Knowledge of the self, jnana, is required. They have not achieved ultimate unity with the Absolute. Awareness of presence. The meditation of focusing on the breath is known as pranayama. Doing pranayama gives you peace. However, the witness is not the vital breath, prana, but the one who is watching without participating. It does not come from anywhere. It is always there. It is not fair or dark, and it is not square, round, or of any shape. You can call the one who is watching Krishna, Christ, or Rama. It is pure love. This witness is each one's proof of his being. This is the knowing. What is this vital breath? When it is within you, in the body, it is called prana. When you meditate on the breath and when it is released, it merges with the atmosphere and becomes one with the universe. For this mode of worship, you do not need any other materials, like food or flowers. When you control your breath through pranayama, a state of bliss, samadhi, can be reached, where there is no mind and therefore no desire. However, this state of bliss and happiness can only last as long as you maintain control of your breath. Soon you will descend again to the gross state. It is only when this joy is beyond the senses that it merges with the universe. It is as pure as the sky, and like the sky, it is infinite. But who gives it light? That love, that knowledge which gives it light is the knowledge I am. Focus on your beingness until you become established in it. Only then will you be able to transcend it. Your focus at present is only on air or the breath. Be that beingness, though this is also not the final step. It does not matter what that experience is if you are aware of the witness, am I correct? Who is the witness of this joy? Who is aware of this joy? Be that I am. Once you know who you are, remain stabilized in the experience of the self. Be like Arjuna. Awareness of his being remained with him constantly, even when he went into the thick of battle. Because he was one with Krishna, he could go into battle knowing that there is nobody who kills and no one who is killed. There are so many difficult situations in spiritual practice, like doing my sacred rituals or controlling the breath. What do? You don't do anything. First, you must take a vow or an oath that you are not a man. How can I say that? Why can't you? You can take an oath that you are not a human being. The knowledge that is prior to thought I am is covered by a human body, which is lined with the vital breath and the knowledge of the self, prana and jnana. This means that you are only covered with the human body. Once you reach this state of I am through your attention, you will only be aware of that, and you will no longer be affected by all of these tendencies, vasanas. You will have transcended them. Let your questions emanate from what you have just heard, not from books or scriptures that you have read previously. I only want some clarification about the knowledge of I am. You have to be one with the self, the I am. If you say knowledge, it is just the same as information. If necessary, discard the words I am. Even without the words, you know that you are. Do not say or even think that you are. Just be aware of the presence without thinking about it. How do you know that you have reached the state of witnessing? Who says that he is alive? Find out who is the witness who knows that he is alive. This is awareness of one's existence. I am prior to thought. Who says I am alive? Who says I am not alive? What is that? I am is not something that can be put into words. It is the knowledge, the awareness before thought. You have to just be. In me at times there is a continuous feeling, not thoughts, which I feel is I. All the religions of the world are based upon feeling and tradition. You can recite your mantra in whatever way you like. It is not going to make any difference because, as I have already told you, becoming stabilized in the awareness I am is all that is important. Later on, you will also transcend the I amness. What I am saying now is being recorded on a tape, but will I actually be talking when it is played back? No, it is only a chemical that was created by a human being. Similarly, there is a photograph of my guru on the wall. Is it the real guru? No. Man makes the picture with the chemical. In the same way, this human being created by God is also just a chemical, and you should be aware of that. Just as a storm is a form created by nature, similarly, this I am, this chemical, was also created. Forget about what I have told you, because that is also a mechanical thing, a chemical. Just be aware, and then it won't matter if you die 100 times. A dream world of which you are the source. Words are very powerful. If a man is told that he will die after 3 days, he is likely to believe it and will be concerned. Are you affected by the words being spoken to you now? Words can affect you and then disappear. A sage is not concerned whether his body is going to die or not. Correct, but these are just parables. You told us about the I. I want to know who created the I am. A child knows who created it. The parents are the creator of the child. But the child does not know the birth of the parents. These are all concepts. The child has been given an idea who its parents are, but it is just a concept. Similarly, the I am is just a concept. The child has also been given the idea that he is. First, you must investigate who is and what this I amness is. You talked about the I am. You construct an understanding that this I am has to have a support. You want to know what the support is for the I am? My parents supported me. When do these two people, the husband and the wife, become parents? It is when a child is born. Is that not true? Where are the parents before the birth of the child? And what is that child? The child is the root of the parents. The child is also the father of the parents. Because of the child, the parents are. This shows how completely hollow our egos are. What is the use of this beingness when it is the beingness that has determined all this play? Awareness is the absolute, but who is the witness of the absolute? The ego is like the child of a barren woman. I am an uneducated person, yet people from all over the world come and visit me. What is this due to? It is because I have become a zero, a nothingness. This knowledge has come spontaneously. Out of nothing, something is. And in that isness or beingness, there are innumerable universes. But even this beingness is discardable. You say that your consciousness has created this world. Does this mean that other people's consciousness will create different worlds? Yes, Each person will create his own world or a different concept of the world. In your dream world, there are so many people. Do the people in your dream world recognize that their world is born out of your consciousness? So what type of great God can be born out of your consciousness? Yet people pray to that consciousness. Don't discuss what I have told you with all and sundry, and don't expose it, or you will be beaten with the pressure. This knowledge or understanding is only to be understood or observed. There is a couplet from Saint Tukaram. To begin, there is only one seed which sprouts and grows into a sapling, and then into a big tree. This tree will create many seeds, which in turn will give birth to innumerable trees. My I has created my world, and when I converse with other people, I will talk to them about my world. Yes, but does the other person know that you are talking to them about your universe? I do not know. If you do not know, why are you asking the question? Take the example of a berry. One berry ripens, then falls and creates a new tree, which will bear many berries. These seeds will create a huge jungle. All of this is created from a single seed. All of them had a single origin. This is all a dream world of which you are the source. If you do not exist, then the manifestation of the world will not be there for you. Do you realize that you have created your world? I will try to understand. There is no question of effort here. It has to be understood spontaneously. What is the role I should play in this world? Amongst all these millions of people, you are inquiring about your part in this world. What is the percentage of your contribution? By yourself, you may be big, but in this crowd, you are nobody. What is my share in all this? Go to Goenka's ashram, meditate a little more, and then maybe you will understand. I am only telling you my story, not that of Brahma. Brahma means illusion. Just like when deer run after a mirage in the hot sun. It is an illusion. The water is not really there. Similarly, you are running after illusions, thinking that something good will come out of it and that you will be blessed. But it is not true. This body is formed from food, annamaya, and is perishable. If the food body were not there, the world also would not be there. Once the vital breath leaves the body, and this I amness ceases to exist, the I amness will not know that it was. The I amness is not permanent, and will forget its association with this body. Just as food is perishable, the body that is built from the nourishment of food is also perishable, and is not permanent. If you have questions, ask the one who wants to know. Cling to the questioner. That is your own beingness or I amness. Once you've done that, people will also approach you. They will call you Mahatma or Anandamayi. After this talk, will you remember at least one sentence of it clearly? When you're hungry and eat a meal, is it the first morsel or the last that satisfies you? I want you to answer this. This is the essence of all knowledge.